What do you mean?
Alrighty, we're back again. We're playing a little bit of Blight today, and we are going to be exposing some survivor entitlement at the end of the video. But first, let's actually see what they were so salty about, you know, what they were so upset about, you know. When I do play Blight, I try to play pretty fairly, you know what I'm saying, which is quite rare, honestly. You never really see that happen, but with Blight, I figure I have enough time to be able to go from point A to point B. Because he's so quick, I can just kind of apply pressure very, very easily. So by being able to do that, it does open up the opportunity to just kind of play, to trade those hooks out, you know, as if I was already at the 3-person mark. And that's living proof right here. I mean, you're seeing that I'm already across the map with barbecue. We're already getting a hit, already in the next chase, and then we can immediately, you know, potentially knock down this Kate once we actually, you know, utilize our M1 game real quick and get the knockdown there, which I think I did a fantastic job. You know, once you have the M1 killer, you know, mastered, you know what I'm saying, you can really utilize that with any killer, and then that'll make you ultimately a better player. And we also obviously have pain res as well, just to keep the game as slow as we can. We have barbecue once again to try to give us the info that we need, but we do end up finding the Michaela again. So as I would normally do, we actually tried to attempt to see if we could bounce off of that stack of bricks there. It didn't really seem like it was going to let me do that, unfortunately. I also actually attempted to utilize the curve here, but curving is something that I still need to get better with Blight. Because I am still fairly new to Blight, but at least I still think my angles, like from the bounce angle things, are still pretty strong. It's just the only thing is just the actual curves, which can be very tricky. We'll just get a free hit on her, get her out of my way, and then we'll just take her to a pain res, just so you can apply the most amount of slowdown at 5 gens. Now, Blight definitely has to be one of my favorite killers in recent memory at this point, because I did play him to get him to level 3, and it was actually quite enjoyable to be able to just kind of sit on DVD and actually like not have to be stressed out, you know what I'm saying, especially with an account to gen speed, and an account to applying pressure and everything like that, and trying to actually win your games. Having Blight definitely just allows you, like, at least allowed me to just kind of just sit back and just play the game and just try to improve at the killer rather than having to worry about 4 gens flying by the time you even can get anything figured out, you know. Which is a mild exaggeration, but it feels that way, you know what I'm saying? It really feels like you don't really have time for anything when you're playing other killers that really have that kind of skill gap, or aren't as the fastest and the strongest like Blight is. And this game was recorded like patched before they updated the add-ons, but I'm not using them in the video anyway. But we're still doing the video anyway. Why not? You know, we're able to. If we can actually get this pallet out, that'd be really good. Which is a good thing I actually have Enduring on for that exact reason, is just to make sure we can pull pallets out very quickly. As you normally do. Now, I figure that I should probably check on the gens, because they already did finish one, so smart thing to do would actually be to go ahead and find anybody else, which you actually see the Michaela here. I was actually out of range to reach the wall, which was what I was actually trying to do in the first place, and actually get the swing there. But, you know, when you're playing Blight, it really doesn't matter, you know, you can just chill, just live your life, and if you miss a swing, it doesn't matter, you know, you're right back in the mix, you know what I'm saying? You can just quickly syringe yourself, boom, you're back in the mix, you can get back in the fight, which is really cool. Which, I mean, I played other, like, pretty much almost all the killers in the roster at this point, and I would say that Blight is definitely up there, even for using it playing on a controller, would be the most enjoyable. You would think that, like, you know, it's not really possible, but Blight is that type of killer that you can really play with a controller and still be viable. You can still do what you do. Now, obviously, I play on max sensitivity anyway. So for me personally, like, you know, I am already kind of set up to be able to go for flicks and stuff like that, because you need to have a high sensitivity, especially like with Hillbilly and Blight and stuff like that. You want to have a high sensitivity to allow yourself to be able to actually turn quick enough to actually you know, flick and whatnot. Now, I think over time I definitely got better with Blight. I did actually take a short break from Blight because I wanted to work on other killers in the meantime. I really think this build that I'm using right now is probably my favorite build for Blight because you have everything you need. You know, you have aura reading, you have a chase perk. The add-ons can be swapped out for whatever you would want it to be, but I figured that with barbecue and pain res, you know, being such a good combo with lethal and stuff like that helps me stay in, you know, helps me stack up the pain reses as well as the fact that we can get into chase immediately, helps me apply pressure so quickly. And because we're playing Blight, we're so fast, we can get to that aura very quickly, which is, I mean, this is obvious stuff, but I thought I would throw it in there anyway, just because I just want to, you know, mention that, because it's an aspect of Blight that may be overlooked, you know what I'm saying? Of course, they have Dead Hard, but thankfully, because I'm Blight, it doesn't matter. They're not going to make the next thing that quickly or that easily. And I somehow didn't collide with anything there, which I thought was really strange. I thought that was a little weird. Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience playing this killer, man. And being able to just kind of figure out the angles and understand, you know, when to swing, and where to bounce off of, and learning each map, even like in a deeper level by understanding what has collision, is really interesting. Because as a Ghostface player, I am solely focused on trying to look at everything in a way that, like, okay, can I lean off of this? Like, if they're running in front of me, can I lean off of this thing? And it's kind of like the information that I use to apply to Blight, because I'm looking at the environment the same way I'm looking at, like, with Ghostface, where I'm thinking, okay, that wall or that doorway looks like flat. I should be able to lean to the side. By the time they run down the hall, they'll be about 99, and then I'll be able to get to them later. It kind of applies to Blight. Like, I'm thinking about the angles in the same way. Like, okay, I'll bounce off of this, go here, bounce to the side, and then say bounce off of something else, and then I should be able to make something else or whatever happen, and be, you know, in the right angles, just judging off of what they are doing. Which I know is not the huge, like the most huge like comparison, but it definitely is something that applied when I was playing the character personally. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, I can't praise it enough. It's such a fun experience to just be able to just chill on DBD, which you never really can do on DBD and with most killers. I mean, you can play, especially M1 killers, you're not going to be able to do that. Unless you actively do not care about losing, you actively do not care about Survivor BM and whatnot, like, you will be alright, you know what I mean? You'll be alright, but most people, I'm pretty sure, don't want to lose, you know? I'm pretty sure people don't like losing. It's exactly why survivors will keep sending you DMs, because you're so good at the game and you fold them in seconds like a napkin. They get folded like an omelet every damn match, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna get mad, they're gonna start getting emotional about it, and they want to start trying to berate the killer for being good at the game, and utilizing different things. Now, I can only speak for me personally, but a lot of the time it sounds like a skill issue. As you can see here, you know, just trying to get them to bait them to drop the pallet. And we are Blight, so one of my favorite things about Blight is the fact that just clicking Blight in the first place will make survivors quit or give up a lot sooner, because they can't handle it, so they just give up. And it's so fun to me, because it actually seems like you're actually you're feared as a killer, which is interesting to see. I never saw something like that before until I played Blight. Like, every other killer I've played, I think it would be Ghostface and Freddy, sometimes Myers, you know, etc. Like, a lot of the time they think, oh, we could just bully this guy, you know, Trapper. Oh, I could bully him. We got this. Like, they get so confident. But then with this, with Blight, it's like you genuinely do feel like you strike fear in their hearts. You know what I'm saying? And then you can tell that they're like, yeah, like, you know, I've had matches where I load in, they fly over, I'm screeching, I'm flying over here, and then they just start putting their items down. Like, yeah, you got it, bro. Like, they just back it up. And it's just so funny. It's like, wow, like, you know, that's what it's like to be to have a strong killer in your arsenal, compared to others where they're really thinking in their minds that they can beat you when they can't. And which, in that sense, kind of gives you the opportunity to prove them wrong and stuff, and kind of be in that underdog type of gameplay. where you know you're Freddy or you're Ghostface, and you're just absolutely washing them with your footwork and your mind games, and just utilizing your power to the fullest extent. When supposedly Ghostface is weak, supposedly Freddy is weak, supposedly like Myers is bad, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? And this is the one right here. That actually sent a DM, by the way. So we're gonna, you know, mind you, he's quitting right here. You can see that he's giving up. He's busy pointing at the lockers or something. I don't know why he's doing that, or the wall or something. I don't know what he's doing. But we just go ahead and hook him. Now I think by this point I actually had everybody hooked once, besides the other person that I ended up like tunneling. It was Michaela, which I mean she was just kind of in my area when I ran past, so I wasn't about to not kill them. But still, I mean, you know, I will also say this is one of my favorite cosmetics for Blight. So, and I think the Rift actually gave me another like outfit for Blight, which is pretty cool. So maybe I'll play more Blight to get the what do you call it? To see like how that looks. You know, maybe I'll run a Mori or something and kind of just see what the vibes are. I'm trying to go for the like the hug tech here kind of thing, but I just couldn't get it again. But I got it the first time. I had only found out like a couple matches later that how to actually make it work, which is fine. I was trying to get her to go vault it so I could like try to like hug tech this again, but it was just really hard to make it work. Then I figured it out right there. Like you have to kind of flick it downward while you're like mid bounce like that to make it to allow you to avoid the collision on it, which is what I had figured out later. But I figured I'm taking too much time here. Because what I noticed with the DVD as well is like if you're having too much fun, you know you have to check on the gens, like, and that's you know, the unfortunate aspect. I know a lot of people want to play DBD very casually. I noticed that a lot, and if you want to do that, I mean you can. There's not really a problem with that per se. You can play DBD casually, but you know just kind of have to be okay with a lot of other aspects of it. Like survivors are going to BM. And they're going to think they're amazing at the game when they're really not. Ultimately, they're really not. I had actually attempted this bounce again, but it didn't really work anyway. I had at least tried it just to clarify that there was no collision on that wall, which is really strange. But you know we're making it work. So I'm trying to see if I can try to mind game him here, but he's just gonna hold W. But either way, I mean I think this is definitely one of the most fun killers to play. For sure, and I definitely think I came up with a very, very simple and easy build right off the bat, because it was just like, obviously we know barbecue works every time. We know that enduring is a great perk. I've watched a lot of Lilith Omen to try to get an understanding of how to play the character to really get into the mix. I swung way too early here, by the way. You definitely want to be a lot closer, but I didn't want to get stunned like that close and like mid-swing. But I ran back to this gen because I know that we have to make sure we give it a little kickaroo. But yeah, I mean, I had a blast. I really did. And I can easily like go around the map, and I can on a horrible map too. Like I can go on a horrible map and still be able to hold out, like, you know, and trade out hooks and stuff like that. Everybody's literally death hook at two gens, which is really interesting. You don't see that too often. But even so, like even me choosing to play what is considered to be fair, right? Considered to be, which obviously really good work on my part. While blinded, I was still listening in to where she was going, and I was able to get the down off of that alone. But what I will say is that. Oh, okay. She agreed. Well, she kind of. Oh. Okay, I forgot they had that hard. Which I think, oh man, that was that was fantastic. That was a fantastic knockdown there on my part. And then we're gonna go ahead and put them on the hook, and then we'll be able to get barbecue, which we see them on the door. So what I decided to do was, well, you know, everybody's on death hook. This guy's one hook away. I might as well just kill him. You know, I deserve my 4K. I did my part. So I swung here, and then I didn't get I slid off of him, so I just yanked him off the doorway, or the gate, I should say. And I guess this is what got him salty or something. Which, mind you, like as a Blight player, I could easily just choose to play You know, if I want to play with the strategies, or if I want to play ruthlessly, I will. But I was trying to learn the characters, so I was like, okay, I know the character's very strong. I'm just going to play fairly, because I know I can still win the game, and because it's very chill to play the character, at least for me personally. So I don't really have to worry that much. And when we already have like full pips, and I mean, look, they're running a lot of strong meta stuff anyway. So I mean, honestly, I never play fairly specifically for that reason. But we're gonna get into the screenshot here of the message that they sent. I didn't actually respond to it due to the fact that they were like sending the message, but I had like left I just completely moved on with my day, and then I just came back and noticed it. I was like, okay, that's a little strange, but I decided to make it a video anyway. I don't know if I'll consider it a rage in the DMs, but it was just more so showcasing Survivor Entitlement, which we will get into the mix. So they say here, you could have let me open the gate. Dirty pool, man. Good game, but woof. So this was quite confusing to me because I don't understand what the mentality on that is, okay? Realistically, I could have chosen to easily play strategically, easily take out targets, you know what I'm saying, quick, especially with Blight, quickly eliminate survivors and move on with my day. But I chose, because I was trying to practice Blight, I was trying to just chill and enjoy the game, to play essentially trading out the hooks and playing all relatively fairly. And like obviously if they if the Michaela who had popped up in front of me, I was like, I'll just kill her again, it's no problem. I'm not gonna, you know, not gonna go into a new chase like for no reason. I'm gonna get the down. But to already, like, I'm already giving that, which I don't have to do. Here's the thing. I'm choosing to trade out the hooks when I don't have to. Okay, so that's already something that they should kind of keep in mind already, because killers and survivors play however they want. But the problem here that I'm having is this entitlement. Like, oh, you could have let me. What the heck? Why are you not letting me leave? I'm like, that's the thing I don't understand. We're not obligated to let you leave, buddy. Even as a Blight, I easily could have played ruthlessly. I easily could have done a lot of different things. But because I chose specifically, I'm gonna just relax. I'm gonna chill. Now you're asking to escape too? Like, now you're asking for too much, man. And to expect it is even more just beyond my comprehension at that point. I'm like, you expect to get a free escape? Someone's, oh, good game, but whoa, oh man, why you not letting me leave? I'm like, maybe you should have, you know, played better. Maybe you should have, you know, not gotten down, you know? Maybe you should have, you know, I don't know. I mean, honestly. So that is the end of the video for you guys. I didn't want to continue yapping for like a super long amount of time. If you want to see that, you can just watch the live streams. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, you know, subscribe, do all the YouTube things for me. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, man. We can have a little, like, you know, have a discussion. With that being said, yes, hopefully you stay tuned for more content.